Hello, everybody, and welcome. Good morning, ni hao. Good afternoon if you're over in the European side. Welcome to today's Onward VR Master League matchup. We have for you today Silent Purge versus BossFight, an EU battle for the books. I am your host today, Sleepy with 2 3s, coming at you live here from sunny California, and I am joined today by my co-caster and favorite Blaze companion, Noman. Noman, how you doing today, bud?
Sleepy, I am so glad you asked because I am doing wonderful. We got so much onward action today, so many games, too many games for sure. And we're going to be bringing you this one, Silent Purge and Boss Fight today. What are your thoughts on it?
You know, I'm interested to see how this plays out. Silent Purge going through a bit of a roster shakeup last season. At the end of the season, Buxton, their captain, stratman, and statistics master, as we know him here on our caster desk, has left, as well as a few other members. So that the Silent Purge team been in a bit of rebuilding mode since then. So we'll have to see how they match up against the mighty BossFight, whose roster stays pretty solid throughout every season. But for right now, let's go ahead and take a quick look into the bans for the stream, for the series. And coming out from, hold on, let me get my sticky notes here. Coming out from BossFight, the ban is going to be for cargo, maybe.
Yeah, no surprise there. Boss Fight not usually lovers of that sort of short-range engagement type of map, so not a ban that I was too surprised with.
Yeah, I can see that as well. And then on the side of Silent Purge, we have a ban coming out for Tanker. So just no love for those two maps here today. Tanker and Cargo both with the ban.
Yeah, Tanker is one of those that I think we were talking about a precast that has been a ban that's pretty common in the league, but this season we've seen a lot of games with Tanker in the pick. Just yesterday, Roman Riot played out a match on it. I know the Blaze and Blitz game was played on Tanker as well, so it's something that I think a lot of teams have been practicing along with Subway, and I think we're going to be seeing a lot of it this season.
I agree. And then now let's go ahead and talk about the first map, or well, at least what we have been told is the first map. This may change. Hopefully it doesn't, but for now, it appears that the first map we're going to be seeing is Bazaar. And like I said yesterday with Nightfire, I think this is a great map to start off with just because it's so well balanced, but also because it gets us such great action right off the gate. Bazaar, definitely one of my top 3 maps, and I think most of the people in the league feel the same, especially those who might be higher up on that rankings list, because it's definitely played a lot in the top tier.
Yeah, it is played very, very often. Almost every match, I think, that I've seen this week has played a Bazaar map, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, it is one of those that sort of is the best of many worlds, right? You've got super close quarters, you've got long sniper sight lines. There's a lot of different streets to cross and different ways to do that, so it affords teams a variety of strategies, right? Rushers have their benefits, slower players have their benefits, and it's just one of those maps that's really nice and balanced, which is good to see and especially great to cast.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, and it's not one of those maps where we're confined to the confines of a hallway or a tunnel or something where we have very limited ability to move around. So that's always good as well. And then, of course, you know, these two teams, European, so this is kind of an early evening match, I guess you could say. It's about 8 p.m. Zulu time right now, so it's a little bit of a late one, but we're gonna come in and try and get some EU love here for the guys over across the pond. Get that BossFight Silent Purge coverage, and we hope you guys enjoy everything coming up. So while we wait for the lobby to set, we're just gonna go to a brief pause, and we'll get back with you as soon as we get inside that lobby and get ready to start the action.
Art K.
All right, and well, that was pretty quick. We were waiting for a lobby, but in fact, the lobby was already ready. They just changed the name of the host on us, so we're going to be getting into this first round here pretty shortly. We'll pop in and take a look at the active roster for these two teams once they have both entered the arena. But for now, it does appear that on the side of BossFight, we have Hoochie UK, Scooby-Doo, Scorpio 1986, and Weather Balloon. Not sure who their fifth member will be in this game. I'm assuming it will be either Legal or maybe, who am I forgetting? Sorry to any of you who I've forgotten.
Sorry, you should be. How do you not have all the players memorized?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm just a terrible person. I'm a bad caster. It's just terrible. And then meanwhile, on the Silent Purge side, we have Architect, King of the North, RPT, J772, and Don Patron, who will be filling out the roster for the Silent Purge team this afternoon. And, yeah, I'm interested to see how this goes. Do you have any thoughts on what we might be seeing? I mean, what's your predictions on today, Noman? I mean, I know we don't typically like to do predictions, essentially, but, yeah, I mean, what's your thoughts on this matchup?
Well, so a lot of those names on Silent Purge, I think, are relatively new unless players are just changing names and but it's also their first Season 7 game, so it's really hard. It's hard to do a prediction right now. I mean, we all know BossFight. We've seen them play time and time again over many, many seasons, so it's easy to sort of err on the side of them being able to take it. But as we've seen in these first 2 weeks of the season, new teams are coming out strong. Season 7 has been a strong sort of rookie period, and I don't think I can just put a cap on this match and say, well, I'm going to take it. I think they're going to have to work for it. I think that we get a good matchup out of it.
Yeah, I agree. Silent Purge never wanted to lay down and just give up their win or their maps, their series to anybody, but absolutely, I can agree with that. BossFight probably is looking a little bit stronger out of the gate, but that's just because they haven't had to deal with the roster shakeups that Silent Purge did at the end of last season. Silent Purge also, as Noman mentioned, this is going to be their first game of the new season. Could be a rough one. It's been a long break for a lot of the teams, and you know, if they haven't been staying on top of that prep work, that action, they could find themselves falling behind here in the early start of the season.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be a hard season to fall behind in as well, because there's just so much new good blood, and everybody I think is going to be clawing for every position, for every skill rank up. It's going to be an intense one. Sure.
Yeah, I can agree with that, and I was right. Legal is going to be the last member on the BossFight side to join the lobby, so that is good. I was accurate, I was correct, but I'm still sorry to whichever of the BossFight members I have forgotten. I'm sure Radarhead or Lonely Viper will come and chew me out for forgetting their boys, but I love you all still nonetheless, and it doesn't change how I feel.
Never doubted you for a second. Live on air.
And see, this is why I love you, Noman, because you have faith in me.
Someone has to.
That's right. That's it. Someone has got to do it. Someone loves sleeping. But go ahead.
The one thing I did want to mention really quickly off the top, this map is we're going to be seeing an interesting objective. I want to get your thoughts on this before they kick off the match. This little market objective, really difficult to defend. What do you think Silent Purge is going to be doing here? You think they're going to be relatively laid back or a little bit more aggressive?
I think Silent Purge is probably going to play a very safe defense. I want to say that they'll probably box it in, maybe have, we'll see King of the North there go into a pretty cheeky hiding spot to be able to help cover North, but also the cross in the road. Jay's going to push into the west alleys there and get himself some coverage as well. But yeah, I mean, it's a pretty standard thought. I think if I take a look at the overhead map, actually, it's not a very standard thought. This is an interesting
Yeah.
defense that we're seeing from Silent Purge, and I'm interested to see how it's going to play out. There are some pretty interesting positions, like we've got King of the North here just off camera. He's got a good position to be able to check the cross on the street, but he's also pretty susceptible if anyone was to be able to come from behind in the north. However, he does have RPT covering that angle behind him, so it's a very good chance that that can still be kind of compensated for.
Yeah, the only one I'm a little bit skeptical about is Jay's position here. I mean, it's not uncommon, but he's sort of out in the boonies by himself. If he goes down, there's not a whole lot of coverage for that approach coming from him. He's going to be watching that southwest angle from there. But I don't know. To be that far away from your squad, I understand that that position needs to be covered, but usually you want to have, sort of a buddy system going when you're doing that.
Yeah, I mean, King of the North has got a backup to him. I mean, he can't re-engage and get the frag right away, but if they push out of that room and try and cross the street without any smokes, King of the North is going to find them. But we do have BossFight slowly making their way and getting into position. Weather Balloon with the shield here. They're getting close to Jay. Hoochie kind of backing Jay up there.
Yeah, this is it's almost a slow-mo approach here towards this, but they're checking every angle, making sure that they can go as far as they can without getting into an engagement. That's why they're moving so slow. Shots now coming out from Scooby. Looks like out towards Jay's position, I think, but no shots land yet. Jay's tucked in, waiting.
Yeah, it actually seems like it might be a little bit of just suppressive fire. I don't think it's even necessarily a directed fire. I think it's just a general spray into that room to keep Jay back and maybe allow Weather Balloon and Hoochie here to find a good angle. Hoochie may actually find Jay here any moment now, and we could be seeing our first battle out here. Was that a frag? No smoke. If that was a frag, though, Architect, he would have been a goner. Architect gonna try and relocate the smoke, but that doesn't go quite his way. Weather Balloon gonna hit Jay and down him. Hoochie to come in and quickly finish off the kill. Leggle coming in and killing King of the North, and Scooby picks up Don Patron. It's just an all-out assault here. RPT grabs one. Leggle's gonna grab the refrag on RPT, and the BossFight take the first round 1-0 with a crazy coordinated attack there at the end of round one.
Yeah, that was a very fast 20 seconds of gameplay. 5 members going down in 20 seconds. That's impressive. That's the BossFight that I'm used to seeing.
Yeah, that was some pretty impressive play there. A lot of great coordination coming out from them. I mean, you just saw things just once they started attacking, it was just like dominoes. Just bam, there goes one, there goes another, there goes another. And then a fourth, and then they've got a refrag from the enemy, and then that refrag was immediately answered right away. They did have the opportunity for the cap, so it's a shame that they weren't able to get that, but I'd say that's a total victory in that round nonetheless. That was a great play from them, and we can see the kill load being spread mostly between Scooby and Leggle for the time being, or Leggle. I'm sorry if I butcher your name. And then Hoochie picking up that one with the help of Weather Balloon and his shield. So
yeah, that was a really nice coordination of that play. The push was simultaneous from 5 different directions. I mean, as soon as shots started ringing out, BossFight was moving, and it sort of incited the panic, right? Silent Purge didn't have a chance to make any call-outs, to check their tablets. They had no breathing room there as BossFight sort of swept them in that round. I think that's something to be said for that kind of coordination when you're in this sort of tier of play.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, at this tier in play, coordination is almost necessary, if not mandatory. You can't just. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You can't just rely on the sheer skill of players at this level of competitive play. You need tactics, you need strategies, and you need coordination. And with that coordination comes communication. As anyone who knows me knows that I stress that above anything else in my gameplay is communication. But yeah, I think both of these teams pretty good with their communication skills.
Yeah, definitely. Quick call outs here from BossFight. Just hold your angles. That's what they're looking for, is just staying tight.
And it seems the Silent Purge team going to get the southeast spawn. They're going to push their way west in the south, try and avoid contact as much as they can. Confuse the enemy and maybe try and avoid giving away their spawn until it's absolutely too late. Now, with this objective, knowing the spawn isn't necessarily important because most of the time your teams are going to try and spread out and find some early picks or get into those positions like we saw BossFight did there with the coordinated play. Architect, though, he's going to take some shots at, I think, at the window there nearby to Legal, but he's not going to find anything. Could just be some precautionary shots. Heard a player get injured from some fall damage behind me, so thought something was happening. Jay, he's pushed his way up to the south side of the bazaar, and he's making his way down the center of the street. Gun in hand, trained on the end of that western road, because typically in the old days the meta was to rush a defender down here and try and peek out that street and get anyone who's out in the open, but that has kind of been squashed as of late because teams, started firing back, and that defensive meta was kind of destroyed, if you will.
Yeah, definitely. Still some preemptive shots coming out from Arc, not going to be landing anywhere. BossFight staying tucked in just like they had discussed pre-round. I think they're not going to be moving too much until Silent Purge is sort of within the AO.
Yeah, I don't think BossFight is going to try and peek or even give them the benefit of knowing where they are until it's too late and they're already on top of them. They fall into their mousetrap. BossFight, a very calculated team. They've been doing this for a while. They've played in a few events. They've been to OC5 to play out on the big stage. They're no slouches to this game. Silent Purge, though, no slouches either. They put in their work. They do what needs to be done to get their rank up in the European League, and they've done a good job of that over the last few seasons. So I'm excited to see how those roster changes affected them at the end of last season, but I do think that no matter what happens, they will be able to bounce back by the end of this season, even if they do get off to kind of a shaky start.
Got it.
But for now, we're 3 minutes and 30 seconds in. We have no action currently going on. A few suppressive shots have been fired, but no kills have been made, no downs even, as the Marsoc team of Silent Purge try and push their way up to the objective area so that they can begin their coordinated attack.
Yeah, this is something that we're pretty used to seeing when we're watching EU teams, right, Sleepy?
Yeah, absolutely. It is something that we have to work on fixing, and we're trying to fix as well, just simply because we're trying to spread that coverage out more. Obviously, we want everyone to get as much coverage as possible, between the EU and the US. Just because we're US casters mostly does not mean that we are only here to do those games. So
yeah, Weather Balloon does pick up Arc Attack here in the north, as he has a pretty smart rotation there, keeping Hoochie alive. I mean, take a look at Hoochie's position here. This is insane. It's very tucked in. RPT picking up Lego there on OBJ.
Yeah, a nice shot too. I'm wondering, did he shoot under the boxes between them? Because that's a dirty little angle right there.
Yeah, I think he was actually shooting through the window. Did he shoot through the window? Yeah, he shot him through the window underneath the boxes, I'm pretty sure. And now we're seeing the smokes coming out from Silent Purge. We should be seeing that same sort of boss fight-esque push, and we'll see how BossFight deals with something similar to what they've done.
That's just it. We'll take a quick look at the overhead map before this strike begins. You've got two members of Silent Purge in the south. You can see in the bottom left of the map there. RPT, though, he's going to grab another one near the objective. He's going to find Scooby-Doo. Don Patron, he finds Weather Balloon and finishes him off. Scorpio, though, going to come around and return the favor. Hoochie and Scorpio going to double team Don Patron, and it looks like they both going to get the credit for that kill. And oh no, Scorpio gets antsy and he takes down his own teammate. Hoochie, Hoochie not very happy. I can hear him all the way down the street from me here. And now it's all up to Scorpio, but I think he's going to get caught out here going for this cross. RPT's going to see Scorpio, and he does. Silent Purge get their Marsoc round, and now we're tied up 1-1 on the map.
Yeah, wow, that was an unfortunate play. I mean, understandably, when there's smokes on the objective and a bunch of your members just went down, you sort of go into panic mode, but you gotta know where your teammates are sitting. At this level of play, you can't just be, you know, spraying random figures and shapes, as it were.
Yeah, and of course, I'm sure Hoochie gonna let Scorpio know about that blunder as we go back into our tent here for the next minute or so, while the teams think up their new strategies for our next objective, which appears to be the South Central Humvee objective. So another interesting one. It's always provides some great action for us. So I'm excited to see this one and how both of these teams will play it out. But this game so far, oof.
This one has so many different methods of attack. One of my favorite ones to play when we are on this map. There's just so much variety. This is exactly what we were talking about when we were discussing Bazaar as a map in general. Is you can find pathways to come in real close. You can opt for longer range, you know, sort of picking people off and trying to make a window for yourself. I mean, there's so many different ways of approaching it. And I'm excited to see how these teams approach it.
For sure, both of these teams are killers. I mean, it's just, you know, they got to find their groove. Silent Purge going to have to find their groove again after that roster shakeups, as we mentioned. BossFight just going to need to find their groove again after that long season hiatus after Season 6 championships concluded. So, you know, both teams going to need to find that groove again, but I think right now they're both doing really well at fending each other off. And with that, we're going to go into round 3 here on map 1. Silent Purge team, or the BossFight team, going to get the northeast spawn. Weather Balloon rocking his trusted shield. Lego, Hoochie, and Scooby all going to go north. They could be doing a 4-1 split here, which would be an interesting run on this objective. Scorpio, nope, there we go. Things breaking off a little bit more now. I think they're going to try and utilize that northwest to confuse the enemy and make them assume that they spawned there instead of, or the northeast rather, and make them think that they spawned from that side rather than the west.
Yeah, this was a really interesting play, too. As soon as Silent Purge got out of the gate, they tossed 3 smokes up into this center Bazaar area here to try members. And we're going to see Weather Balloon crossing with the shield. Don Patron not seeing him and not taking the shots. I'm not sure which of those two is correct, but Don Patron is just watching BossFight cross this street and doing nothing about it.
I don't think he saw the first two. He just called in 2 east, and I think he may be talking about Hoochie and Lego. I'm not sure if he saw Weather Balloon and Scorpio at all.
It's a very interesting position. And 2 more are going to make that same east cross, and now we've got... Okay, he's making the call for 4 east, so he did see the original 2, but there's no rotation and no shots coming out from him. I cannot believe you would take that position and not actually take a shot downrange.
You know, my thought process on that is he is kind of out in the open, so if he doesn't hit those shots, the chances for them to come back and kind of return that favor is much higher. And we did see a lot of that in these last few days worth of casts. We saw a lot of people with kind of very open shots that weren't able to hit them, and then it ended up costing them their life. So I think Don Patron's playing that safe. Weather Balloon's going to have just seen Don Patron, though, running into that blue room garage, so he's going to have that info for his team. Meanwhile, the BossFight team pretty much on a southeastern push. One man still in that 2-story Kayot building. That's going to be Scooby-Doo, their resident American player. I believe that's him and... Oh, man, they're going to kill me for forgetting their names. I'll look it up between the next round, but there's another guy that plays for them as well who is an American playing on this EU team. That was interesting news for me to find out at OC5. I never realized that they had a couple of American guys on an EU team. You would think that those schedules wouldn't line up, but somehow they make it work. So
yeah, work can be pretty interesting.
Weather Balloon taking some shots onto Arc Attack and actually getting the hit. Arc Attack going to have to use that syringe now, that utility for the revive to help support his team's defense is now going to be squandered. Dom Patron going to try and come around, but Jay, where did Jay come from?
And then Jay had rotated out of that second story, was able to pick him in the back, and then got a team kill. Scooby now picking up Dom Patron as a result of those shots. And that is not what Silent Purge need right now. They cannot have that member down as Lego takes down RPT. They're down into a 4v2 with one potential res, but it's way too dangerous.
Oh no, and now Lego returns the favor on his side and kills Scorpio. Scooby-Doo takes down, finishes off Jay, and now it's just the last two members on the objective remaining. If they could get Architect, they might actually be able to push in and get the cap before the remaining defender is able to respond. But no, as I say that, King of the North does rotate in, and he is going to find his position onto the objective to try and stop this cap attempt. But man, team kills galore in this match so far. I think we've had 3 in just 3 rounds.
Yeah, that is not what they want to see this early on, but I suppose if you're going to be making mistakes, you're going to do it in the first 2 rounds of the first map of the match, you know? I mean, I'm hoping that we see them short up a little bit. I doubt that either side's captains are going to let that slide, so... but it is fortunate for Silent Purge in this case, otherwise they would have quite an uphill battle here to defend. But so far, BossFight not really capitalizing on the downs they have, maybe not getting a full count of member downs. I would have expected them to go a little bit quicker than they are now.
The 2 members in the south, Hoochie and King of the North, pushing their way up. King of the North should be able to see Hoochie here. No, Hoochie takes the shots first, but he misses. King of the North able to pick up Hoochie, and now it's a 2v2.
Yeah, that is exactly what they needed right there. King of the North is having some great rotations. Shots coming out from Scooby, though, picking up Arc Attack in the objective building. He's crashing down towards OBJ right now. He's upstairs. He's on the backside of it. King of the North didn't hear him. They're just meters away from each other. Scooby's got Pat out. King of the North needs to get in there right now. He checks it.
Oh, very close at that. 1 minute left on the clock. It's a 1v1. Lego versus King of the North. Boss Fight versus Silent Purge. Round number 3, and King of the North. Oh, no. Lego going to win the trade, and Boss Fight take their second round of the map.
Not quite fast enough, but, I mean, he saved the cap, and I think he's got to be happy with that.
Yeah, I mean, not only did he save the cap, but the RNG worked in his favor, or the trade worked in his favor, and he was able to secure the round win as well. So that's going to put them in a good position here. They're going to move into their next attack round. They've already won 1 Marsoc round, so this is looking good for them. Now we'll see how they attack this next objective and see if they can do the same thing as we've seen Silent Purge able to do, which is get these Marsoc wins that they need.
Yeah, definitely. So far, it's been an interesting matchup in terms of who wins. No clear favorite for defense or offense. Some really great plays from both teams, but they're going to have to shore up those team kills, because I think that round could have gone very differently depending on which team, did not down a member of their own team first.
Yeah, the team kills, unfortunately, those are very unfortunate right now, but they have got to stop. Both of these teams are hurting themselves so terribly right now, just with the team kills alone, and that's not what we want to see, especially at this level of play. But it's always hard to be that harsh on someone for the team kills, especially as a former player, and I'm familiar with why those happen. Occasionally the shader just doesn't display correctly, and that Marsoc player who you would normally not have shot appears to be black in color, and then you think, oh my god, it's the enemy, I've got to fire. Then you do, and you realize that it was your teammate. So it's something that you just have to deal with, unfortunately. But hopefully here soon, once we get that version 1.5, things will improve, stabilize again, and we'll be seeing some of the top level of competitive play that we've seen in a while. Plus, not to mention, we're going to have so many new gadgets and things that teams aren't even going to know what to do with them at first, so we'll have to see how that plays out. Meanwhile, Boss Fight, or Silent Purge on the northwest spawn. Man, I got my directions so backwards today, Noman.
That's all right. I'll fix them for you, but you are correct. They are in that northwest, making the push down towards the street. They've got smokes. very well placed, aside from the fact that the objective building window is still wide open. But otherwise, very well placed. Scorpio able to pick up Jay, however, as he gets a little too aggressive on the street cross. No smokes there to cover his cross, and Scorpio's going to try to do as much damage as possible from that scaffolding position.
And he does quite well, yeah. I mean, he did miss Don Patron, but Hoochie's grenade finds Don Patron, and he's down now. I think Scooby-Doo might have heard the audio cue from Don Patron. He's going to run out, but it could be rushing out too far. No, King of the North and RPT going to miss the chance to kill him. Shots ringing out still from Weather Balloon. He's still trying to attack those, suppress those guys in the west. Smokes are in the west now. RPT and King of the North going to try and do something here. Their smoke has faded, and now they are just fish in a barrel at this point. They're going to have to probably try and find a reroute, because I think the west has officially been closed to the Silent Purge team.
Yeah, I think that's the issue, is if you do not commit to smokes and utilizing them as coverage, you are really setting yourself up for a painful cross and a painful approach to the objective. Obviously, they had one member go down, but generally speaking, in my experience, you can't always get them all. You know, if you can get one across, it's usually better than if you get none across and are stuck, kind of like RPT and King are on that northwest side.
BossFight doing a good job of locking down this objective. Take a look at the map. We will see that Silent Purge did take old Sleepy's advice and decide to withdraw from the west and try and re-angle their chance of attack. Scorpio, though, sitting in that blue room on the southeast corner of the bazaar, he's going to still be a dangerous person to have to contend with here as the Marsoc team tries to push out through the bazaar. Arc attack, if he shoots even just once, Scorpio could pick up on that, locate him via sound, and then just lay into him with that AKM he's got. Or AK-12, sorry.
Yeah, Arc Attack is just waiting here. This is a good position for him to be in initially, but he's going to need his team to approach RPT and Uchi. They're trading a lot of rounds, but still no one visible for Arc Attack. He's either going to need to rotate, or his team's going to have to find a way to give him an opportunity to utilize that position. So far, though, BossFight pretty tucked in.
Yeah, they are not taking any chances. They haven't lost a single member yet. Thankfully, no team kills have come out either, but RPT still over here looking for Hoochie. Scooby-Doo tried to pop in and see if he could apply. But Hoochie, he should have the eyes on him here. The shots come out. Does Hoochie see him? He's taking the shots, but he can't hit him. RPT somehow seems to be safe. I don't know if it's those boxes back there or what, but Hoochie just cannot seem to get the angle on an Arc Attack. Now under attack from the members of BossFight. They're sort of starting to surround him. Hoochie and RPT do trade. RPT still up. Grenades coming out now from the members of BossFight. A flashbang, a good one too. King of the North appears to be blinded.
Yeah, their coordination there was a little bit off, but BossFight was able to call out their positions, and we saw that rain of grenades come out. Now Arc Attack going down to Legal's shots there, and King of the North is the only one left alive. And mobile, he's going to have to find a way to down at least one member of BossFight who is currently overwatching his position. Scooby's just trained on that position right now. Such a stressful position to be in here. King knows that there's tons of enemies overwatching him and taking shots out. Don't land on Scooby. Legal capitalizes on that information, and BossFight go up 3-1.
So an impressive start here on map 1 for BossFight. Silent Purge unable to find their footing yet in this map. And just looking at that BossFight score line, I mean, they're doing a great job spreading out the work. Legal and Scooby-Doo still leading the team with those kills, but Hoochie and Scorpio picking them up, and Weather Balloon, of course, he's their shield guy, so I'm not expecting him to carry their team on kills by any means, but he is definitely carving paths for his teammates to be able to get in to those objective AOs and get in there and get the cap. So, you know, he's doing his job, so whether he's getting kills or not is irrelevant because he's doing his job.
You gotta do your job. That's the key. It's that same coordination. It's the same communication discussion we were having. You have to know your role, and then your teammates have to be able to trust that you know your role and know what you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Trust, communication, teamwork, coordination. I mean, all of those team building exercises. You know, do a trust fall with your team, basically, because you're going to need to trust them that much in order to really make it to the top. I mean, you don't get to where Globo and beginners are without putting in the time and the effort, and, you know, that stuff shows in these matches. And BossFight right now showing that they've been putting in quite the time themselves. Silent Purge, as we said, first match of the season. Well, first map as well, so they're probably still shaking out the kinks and maybe getting the jitters and the cobwebs out of the old gears there. But either way, we should be seeing still an excellent map. We still have 2 more maps to go, so don't let this scoreline indicate anything to you folks at home, because we could be seeing quite a lot more from these teams.
Yeah, Silent Purge, saying those beautiful words that I love to hear. No caps. That's the defense that I can get behind. And we're going to be seeing if they can pull that off. BossFight's going to be approaching on that west side. They're not going to go for any sort of crazy flanks just yet, though I think we're going to see at least 2 members go north, if I'm reading this sort of offense correctly.
You do appear to be good, sir. They've got a 2-2-1 split. It's probably the second most used meta as far as attacking formations go. It's typically a 3-2 split for most teams first. The next thing you'll usually see will be a 2-2-1 split, and then very rarely you'll see a 4-1 split. But right now, BossFight just trying to get its position. RPT, though, he's going to actually... Oh, he's heard Weather Balloon. He's got to it, but Weather Balloon saw him. He knows RPT's there, but the C4 is out. RPT just... He needs to be smart. Don't blow it too soon. Oh, no, and now he's not going to get the chance to blow it at all. Scorpio comes in, peeks it, and rushes to get the kill. RPT goes down. The C4 not able to be used, but Dom Patron going to be able to get the angle on Scorpio and a nice headshot to end his life right away.
Yeah, we're down to a 4v4. The offense gained a lot of ground there. Picking up RPT was definitely crucial. I don't think they're out yet. We're going to need to see how Weather Balloon can utilize this shield to let the northern attackers make their approach. But we are going to see a grenade coming out. Grenade call out from the Gill and Scooby, but it downs both of them. Beautiful grenade. Absolutely beautiful.
Well, I'm glad we caught it on the edge of our screen. Because I did not get my camera over there in time. A few other grenades have come out. Hoochie, Weather Balloon, both tossing them. I think they know King of the North is here somewhere in the bazaar, but they just can't seem to get the grenade onto him. Dom Patron.
Weather Balloon is going to have to rotate here. I don't think he should be pushing this objective the way he's doing it right now. He needs to make it to the north. Dom Patron is now watching that angle. I don't think he knows there's downs, but they are watching that northern approach.
Ooh, Weather Balloon is able to pick up Dom Patron, but then Hoochie is going to...
Sleepy, I'm sad. I'm sad that team kill happened.
Oh, my. I'm just sad that they're happening at all. Team kills make Sleepy a sad Sleepy.
Arc attack there. Should have seen Hoochie as he came through. Maybe the smoke was obscuring his vision a little bit. But now he's sort of overwatching that position. If Hoochie can stay quiet enough, he should be able... Nope, never mind. Never mind.
Facepalm. But he is going for the reses, and I will say that is very important to them right now. They've got 2 more available. They could be up here 4-3, but it's only a matter of whether or not they go for those reses. And Hoochie does at least make up for the fact that he downed Weather Balloon after Weather Balloon got that crucial kill onto, I believe that was Dom Patron. So yeah, now Hoochie and Weather Balloon are kind of set for the attack, but they could really use that help from those 2 BossFight members that are up behind that northern wall.
Yeah, if they can get those 2 reses, they would be absolutely set to take this objective, but now there's shots coming out that are a little too early. Arc picking up Weather Balloon. Distracted by Jay. Hoochie and Jay trade, and Silent Purge take that defensive round easily. Great grenade play there from Silent Purge to down 2 members, cause a little confusion, and then that unfortunate Hoochie down, I think, sort of gummed up the gears of the BossFight offense and gave Silent Purge an easy win.
Yeah, I'd have to agree there. Hoochie's fire control was a little weak there in that round. I mean, he popped off that round when we said if he just stays quiet, he can just sneak right by, and the next thing you know, he just pops a little burst off. Then he reses weather balloon. They get around in behind the objective building and he pops off a single shot, thereby alerting the defenders of their presence. Then Arc Attack pops out for a nice aggressive pick. He ends up getting weather balloon due to that. So Hoochie, you might need to do the old adage of sticking your finger straight out and off your trigger until you're absolutely ready to fire your weapon, because those accidental discharges, I believe, were the cost of that round, unfortunately, for BossFight, especially there at the end. Of course, also that team kill didn't help either. But you did, of course, come back and get weather balloon up, so I applaud you for that, as some people will just leave their fellow comrades there to die as they try and Rambo into the objective for the win. So overall, still good team play, but of course, still some small things to work on. But easy to say from where I'm sitting, you know.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we do have to acknowledge we have faster vision. We're not quite as stressed out as these players during the matches, so it's easy for us to commentate on it, but these guys have put in a ton of time. You know, mistakes happen. I think they will, like we said, they're going to clean it up as we get underway into our next round, round 6. BossFight on defense. Looking to close this map out. Silent Purge really needs to come up with something and get themselves on this board, try to take it to a defensive round, and try to take this round away from BossFight. This is what's going to set the pace for the rest of the series for sure.
Yeah, I think so. I'd love to see BossFight though, or I'm sorry, Silent Purge come in here and get a cap and just really surprise BossFight. I don't think that's going to be likely. BossFight tend to like to play a very box defense, but that first pick from Hoochie going to be a nice one though. He's going to grab Don Patron. It's an immediate kill, no res available. It's already 4v5 in BossFight's favor.
Yeah, that is not what they want to see here. They're going to need to press Hoochie's position here. He is out by himself. There is no coverage for his position. And he's going to rotate around a little bit, so he's, of course, making all the casters wrong right away. But they do need to find that equalizing pick, and there's nothing on the west side that they're going to easily be able to get, but there is that very aggressive weather balloon flank coming out right now in the southeast. If they can pick him up, that's going to be the equalizer they need, but I don't think they're going to be expecting this.
Yeah, I think this weather balloon flank is going to end up catching a couple of people off guard if they're not careful. King of the North looking like he might be the first victim, as he's going to be the closest one, but it'll be a tough pick for him, as King of the North does have the better angle, I'd say, on this showdown. So we'll just have to wait and see how that pans out. I hope I don't have to jump cameras. Speaking of jumping cameras, Scooby-Doo's going to see something and fire at it. I'm not sure if he actually sees an enemy, because the only person I know of in that area is King of the North.
I can't watch crossing anymore, so they may hit cross for tank now.
King of the North is calling out weather balloon. He did catch his rotation into the blue room. Weather balloon now pushing up. King of the North does hear him. Shots come out, don't land. Weather balloon inside. King of the North really aggressively chasing this kill. Weather balloon just waiting around the corner.
Oh, this is not going to be good. And just before this exchange goes on, RPT does team kill Don Patron, and that does not help SP out at all. Silent Purge now down 3 members to BossFight's 5, and it looks like King of the North might end up getting caught out by Weather Balloon here. Weather Balloon just patiently waiting for him to come into that room, but King of the North just refusing to clear that entire building. He only wants that one side, I guess.
And Weather Balloon here, just the patience of a saint. I mean, at this stage, most aggressive teams would just be rushing out trying to get that kill. He knows King of the North is somewhere right next to him, and he's just holding the angle. He's keeping the tightest angle he can, moving slowly. I think he might be trying to get that check now. Usually when, you know, you hear a defender or an offender near you, and then they go silent, you definitely don't want to stick around for too long.
Yeah, that's it.
You don't know where they could be.
Exactly. I mean, your best option is to slowly exfil while keeping your back to a wall, as to not, you know, allow for someone to come in from behind you. You also want to make sure that, you know, you checking your 6 if you're exfilling from a building, making sure nobody's chasing you out of there. But now weather balloons might be getting a little too antsy. It might cost him that barrel of the AK-12. Going to come out quickly. Oh, but it's a trade. both members being taken down completely. Silent Purge, though, finally picking off one of the members of BossFight, and now we're in a 2v4. With the right play, we can see here as we look at the overhead map really quickly, the right hole in the defense. I think they probably could get in there and still do something with this. But for right now, it is looking like BossFight are going to clinch this map and take the first map of the series. But you never know. Onward is just one of those games.
It's just one of those games. Hoochie is their bane right now. They need to get him out of that position to be able to cross into either the kiosk courtyard or into the building itself, but he's going to be their main issue. And I think they have to know that he's there. That is such a common spot for this defense. They need to be aware of that position.
Yeah, and they're not going to make much headway in the north. They've got Lego watching the northern west corner. They're not going to be able to get much of anywhere there. However, they could possibly peek it and take out Lego as he's just sitting very exposed by those sandbags, contrasting color of his black uniform against those lighter colored concrete bags. Now smoke's coming out from Silent Purge, but unfortunately bouncing off and kind of flubbing out. Jay's going to push his way up the western north alleyway here, and it's going to be him that's probably going to run into Lego. Lego now getting a little bit aggressive, coming off those concrete bags. He's pushing towards the northwest. Let me get rid of this map in the corner for a better shot, and as I do that, Lego takes the shot and finds Jay. Silent Purge down to their last man, and 1 minute left on the clock for them to do something. RPT. He's inside. He's near Hoochie. Hoochie just waiting patiently, but RPT pulls a clutch move, checks through the window on a tight angle, and is able to find Hoochie. He's not able to get the confirm kill, though, because just can't get the angle on him now that he's fallen. Scooby-Doo moving up on RPT now. I think RPT might have heard it. He's got his angle directed. Scooby-Doo's going to peek. I think Scooby-Doo's got it. Yes, he does. Scooby-Doo finds RPT, and BossFight take the first map 4-2.
Yeah, it was a great series. Unfortunate for Silent Purge to get that team kill early on. They had one member tied up in the south for a little too long there. They couldn't quite get their offense going, but a great map. Congrats to BossFight for taking that first one, and we'll be jumping into the second one here real soon.
Absolutely. Now, I have no idea why my scoreboard didn't reset, so I'm going to fix that for us now. While I do that, what we'll do is we'll just go ahead and hop back into the war room. Just to highlight again the bans and reset the map on my scoreboard. So the bans were Cargo from, I think that was BossFight, right, Noman? Noman?
Yeah, that is absolutely correct.
And the first map, of course, we saw was Bazaar. It now appears that we are seeing Subway. Is that correct?
That is correct. So the prediction earlier, right at the start of the cast, Subway and Tanker, the two maps we're going to be seeing a lot more of, I think, in this season. This is, I think, the third game that I've seen casted that will now have Subway as a part of it. Going to be a pretty interesting matchup. Subway, for those of you who have not tuned in this season, has been reworked. There's a ton of new entrances, a ton of different ways for teams to approach the objectives now. It's no longer a Volk-focused map anymore. Marstock definitely has the advantage on a lot of the positions, so it's going to be an interesting play for sure. What do you think about this this map choice?
Well, it's being utilized a lot, so I'm sure the devs are really happy because, I mean, this map was all but just forgotten about in competitive play until that balancing issue with those entry points was fixed. So I think it's good. I'm glad to see us playing Subway again. I mean, it's nice that we finally got it that map back as playable and can add it back into the roster of maps. Because, yeah, I mean, it does start to get a little stale when all the teams do want to play the same 3 maps over and over. As much as I love those maps, I just can't always get behind that. For any of you out there who are just kind of checking in with us or maybe not familiar with Onward VRML or Onward in general, well, never mind. Forget that intro to Subway. We're going to go right into gameplay, apparently. And this is going to be round number 1 of map number 2. BossFight currently ahead in the series, 1-0. Scoreline of 4-2 on Bazaar. And now we're into Subway, where it's anybody's game. We saw G-Men come in with a massive comeback last night on this map and take it away from SMC to win their series. Let's see if Silent Purge can get their first map win in this series here on Subway.
Subway for the underdog is that's the theme for 2019. Hashtag Subway Underdog 2019. Little early grenade there coming out towards Don, a little too high on the ledge, not gonna land.
RPT and Jay making a push up that center upper entrance now through what I like to call the central turnstile. They're going to do a nice split, one going left hallway, one going right. They should be able to angle in on that doorway if possible. Also, FYI, we are still looking for this cat. He's been missing now for about 3 years. I know we're assuming the worst, but unfortunately we still are holding out hope for him. So if you do see this cat, please let us know.
I think Weather Balloon and Don Patron here are actually staring at each other and don't see each other just because of how dark this map is.
Are either
They're
one
both holding the same yeah, if you take a look at camera 2 here, they're both just trained. Both around the corner, both looking. Don Patron now taking some shots out. They do land on Weather Balloon, not enough to down or kill. Gonna rotate out, throw a grenade, but Weather Balloon does pick him up. The grenade lands, however, and responds in kind, taking Weather Balloon with him as he goes. Scorpio now the only one left there in that center hallway.
And he's got Jay and RPT right in the stairs below him. He's making a lot of noise. I'm pretty sure Jay and RPT have heard this, but we're going to keep our eyes here on this action unless we hear something else going on. But yeah, RPT and Jay now moving up. Jay's already focused on that side. He knows somebody's there. He's heard the motion and the commotion. Scorpio hears those shots. He's going to try and rush the door. He's going to find 2, though, and one of them's going to get him. RPT grabs Scorpio, and it's 3v3 now. But can we talk about that insta-kill refrag from Weather Balloon and Don Patron there? That was an amazing little kind of exchange.
Yeah, getting that grenade off was probably one of the luckiest things I've seen so far because, like I said, both of them were just honed in on that angle for so long, waiting for the other to do something, and good on him for getting that trade off for his team. However, both sides of that exchange don't know how that turned out, so both teams are working with an incorrect count of players, potentially. RPT now picking up Scooby as he makes that approach from center turnstiles.
Yeah, an excellent play. Silent Purge apparently pretty well practiced on this map, even though this does appear to be BossFight's choice as the away team for map 2. And RPT going to find Legal as well. RPT just on fire out of that central turnstile. It's now all up to Hoochie, and there's 3 members, still 3 members of Silent Purge left, and 2 of them are coming up on Hoochie's 6. This is not going to look good for Hoochie, unfortunately.
Yeah, the only benefit here is that there is no chance for a cap. That position is exactly where you want to be when you're down quite a few members. You know there's more offense than there are of you, and you want to make sure nobody can cap. There's a lot of little sneaky angles for this objective people can take. So
yep, and here comes
Hoochie's
Arc
got the right
Attack.
idea here.
Ooh, but he does manage to finish off Arc Attack because Arc Attack was not angling his shield appropriately, at least according to what I saw. And then King of the North is going to kill him down himself with his own grenade. A bad bounce back does affect his potential, and now he's leaving RPT all up on his own, and they had this in the bag. It was a 3v1, and now Hoochie looking like he's going to be able to take this round. Oh, Hoochie drops his gun. He looks away at the wrong time, and RPT going to prove me wrong. Silent Purge going to grab their first round of the map.
Yeah, that was an unfortunate play. RPT able to bring that one back for his team, but oh, that grenade hurt my heart. There is still the potential for a revive. I'm not sure why you would go for a frag toss before a revive. but unfortunately doesn't go the way he wants. Finishes off his own teammate, downs himself. Luckily, RPT able to capitalize on that timing issue with Hoochie. Grab that round. I mean, what a start to this map. Like I said, underdog, Subway 2019, whatever the hashtag was. Don't at me. I don't know.
At him. At the hell out of him. And Silent Purge showing that they're not scared of Subway at all. A great play overall from them. A few Benny Hill moments there, like King of the North self-frag, but otherwise a good round for them. Silent Purge looking good on Subway. BossFight though, you know, this is their map pick, so obviously they have something up their sleeve. I bet they're banking on utilizing all those new entrances to really gain the advantage on their opponents. Sorry, I trailed off there.
Sleepy is sleepy. We all know that. We all love it. It's all right. We're going to be jumping into this action here. That should wake you up a little bit. Now we're going to be seeing how Silent Purge runs this defense again. This map is just so hard to defend. I mean, you can't really fault BossFight for having issues there, although I think they were getting a little more aggressive on some of those hallways than they should have been, but definitely going to be seeing something interesting from the offense in that they're doing this 3-2 split. I think they're going to be coming just about the same setup, and Weather Balloon gets a quit. My kill feed for some reason, but Weather Balloon does get a pick there in the North Alley.
Yes, I noticed that as well. I didn't get that kill feed indication either, but you are correct. The kill has been made. Silent Purge already down one member. We're only 30 seconds in, and BossFight's got a nice 3-man push coming up these center turnstiles. I'd say Silent Purge is playing this a little bit better, a little bit closer to how I would play it, in fact. They're playing it a lot closer to the vest. They're not really worried so much about the entrances or the exits from the subway as they are about containing the objective itself. And I think that's how you need to play the new subway. I mean, we did see some interesting stuff work for SMC last night. Mr. Beefy got a crazy flank and a knife kill on G-Men last night with all these various exits. But I think for the most part, covering that objective needs to be your main focus on defense now that there's just so many ways for Marsoc to get themselves up there.
Yeah, definitely RPT and Legel here in a standoff of sorts. Grenades coming out. Legel throwing a flash into a hallway that didn't have anybody in it. RPT able to capitalize as he comes back around, but Weather Balloon and Scorpio here, I think, missed their chance to push up through smoke. Now the defenders are going to have an easier way of getting through it. Scooby tearing through RPT as they crash down through this center alley. Jay now picking up Weather Balloon and Scorpio, though, on their approach and equalizing it. It's 2v2.
Absolutely, and that was really risky of Weather Balloon. He just ran straight in. He didn't cover. He didn't even check left or right. He
Sleepy Scooby-Doo's got Pat out, smoke on his chest. He's crawling up. Take a look at this camera. He's an absolute madman. Hoochie picking up King of the North there as the smoke clears. Is Architect going to check this corner? He's not going to check the corner. The cap comes out. BossFight takes it.
Oh my, wow, what a play. BossFight proving why they chose this map, and they're going to go up 2 here to answer back to Silent Purge's Marsoc round with their own, except this time they're going to complete their job. They're going to get that cap. Wow, what a play, and thank you for cutting me off from my babbling nonsense to let me know about that cap happening.
Somebody's got to keep you in check. Yeah, that was unbelievable. He had strapped a smoke to his chest, and he was down. As soon as he got that kill, he was down on the floor, waiting to creep up. There was a key pickup there by Hoochie to get the defender that was most likely to check him, and then Architect just not checking the corner, playing a little too cautious, and that's that sneaky angle I was talking about. There's so many sneaky little angles. I think we saw something very similar. Was it? It was BossFight and Animal House, right? In the semis that we saw that same style of cap. It was in the smoke. He was laying down, crawling up. I mean, that was a huge deal at the time, and BossFight up to their usual tricks on this map, getting themselves 2 points there.
Well, now it's an objective I haven't seen get played on the new subway yet. We've got the double down objective, the basement subway objective. So it'll be interesting to see if those new entrance points, especially that one directly into that basement subway, will get utilized now. It'll be Silent Purge's attempt first at attacking that new position, so we'll follow along with them as they decide what they're gonna do. Arc attack. Don Patron gonna take 2, and I think the others might stay in a 3-2 split here as we go on into. Sorry about that. Not gonna leave the overlay up. I'm not. That is one thing I do pride myself on not doing very often, and we are going into, of course, round number 3 here on map 2. Boss fight up 2-1 on Subway. I almost called it Suburbia.
It's the Subway to Suburbia. We're going to be seeing that push down through the center turnstiles. The defense is exactly what I would expect. It is pretty restrained. Not a whole lot of variety there. They are trying to cover every track. I'm a little surprised they're a little bit as spread out as they are, but I suppose you don't want to be in prime frag position for when that offense comes in, so see how that pans out.
Yeah, definitely don't want to be too close together, as one grenade could end the life of all 5 of you if you were to be all standing together. We did see there was a clip of that from last season of, I believe it was Hoochie from BossFight getting a 4K frag on Danglers in a match because their spacing was just not good, and while they were able to get those players back up, they did learn a tough lesson on spacing, and now a frag comes out. Don Patron, Arc attack on the attack. Scorpio going to try and check it. He's going to see the shield. He's probably going to call that out. Yep, there's the radio call out. We're going to get ourselves through the door to get a better view of the action. Scorpio and the boys trying to get in there. A flash comes out, but no, it's a frag.
It's an unfortunate frag, not quite far enough on that toss. Scorpio going to rush the angle. Architect going to be able to get that refrag, but Don Patron goes down, and now there's just one approaching from there. Scooby-Doo, though, on the flank.
Wow.
Picking up Architect.
Great play, and I honestly thought Scorpio was going to be able to get that shield member as well, but it appears that that is not going to be the case. Either way, Scooby-Doo, thankfully, on that flank, does pick up that refrag, and Silent Purge now down to 3 members. The boss fights 4. Where are those 3 members?
They were taking that center turnstiles approach. They are still coming through, but because boss fight is so recessed, they're staying in that basement level. They're not going to be seeing that engagement for a little bit. They're being very cautious here.
Yeah, there's going to need to be some coordination here. I think if they plan on getting downstairs, boss fight has pretty well locked up the basement, and I don't anticipate seeing very much in the way of them coming out or being too aggressive and just throwing away this round. Boss fight looking good here on Subway, but, you know, Silent Purge putting up a great fight as well.
It's definitely difficult to come back from a cap like that. You definitely have a hard time keeping morale up. So I'm interested to see how they are able to handle that as they go through the rest of this map. They started off strong, and they need to keep that same mentality and that same momentum.
Two minutes, 39 seconds.
While we have a lull in the action here, I do want to remind everybody, make your clips. Clip things for the players, for the casters, for the league. We use those clips in our casts. We use them in a weekly recap show that Sleepy and a few of us are involved in. So definitely get those clips rolling for any cool stuff you see in here. Make sure you post them in the chat, in the Discord. Show everybody.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. The more clips we have, the easier it makes it for Buxton, who is our producer on that VR Respawn show, to put things together for us, to be able to bring that back to you at the end of the week. And of course, we have seen some great plays here on this matchup so far. That cap from from Boss Fight in that last round, that grenade play on Weather Balloon from Don Patron in the round previous to, a few little things here and there on Bazaar as well. So overall, some great plays coming out here. Definitely some clip-worthy material. I know that last night's match was clip-tastic. We got a lot of clips coming in from the audience there. We also want to thank you all for tuning in, subscribing, donating any bits or real monies that you choose to do so. The casters, we're very thankful for you guys for not only tuning in, but for your support. We wouldn't do this without you guys, as we say all the time, and you know, otherwise it would just be a bunch of us nerdy FPS guys just talking guns with each other.
Nothing wrong with that. And speaking of guns, Jay and King now going to be utilizing theirs as they make this approach down the tunnel towards Leggle and Scooby.
Scooby's picked up the
making a
shield.
lot of noise. He's checking the corner with the shields. Scooby single-shotting it. Leggle, however, able to save his life.
Oh, and Hoochie's gonna team kill another. That's not Hoochie. Oh. I think he probably saw the shield, to be fair. I think he saw the shield and assumed it was Marsoc. And because Volk doesn't have shields, that's pretty safe to assume. So that might actually be on Weather Balloon for not telling his teammates that he's picked up the shield, because, you know, if I see a shield and I don't know about it, I'm going to assume it's Marsoc as well, unless I happen to catch, you know, that player model standing up.
RPT with a quick pick around the corner, but Leggle able to shut that approach down, and BossFight are now up 3-1. That was Scooby, by the way, not Weather Balloon with the shield. But yes, you are right. It is on that member to let his team know that he's got that. That is a common call out a lot of teams do when they pick up a shield because of that exact reason.
Yep, so sorry to Weather Balloon. It's not your fault. It's Scooby-Doo. Yeah, definitely need to make sure you call that out, because anyone like myself is just going to open fire on you. So, you know, Hoochie, I might have to let you off on that one. That one may not so much be your fault. Love you guys.
I'm going to hold the grudge. I think one of us has to. Good cop, bad cop is usually how this works. So, Hoochie, you're going to have to answer to me for that kill. But, you know.
Well, as long as you have the heart to be hard on him, I'm just too much of a softie, I guess.
Yeah, you're too weak for this game, Sleepy. You gotta keep him honest.
Why do you think they made me a mod? I'm too weak to play. I run up to the other team and buy them flowers and chocolates, and I mean,
you heard it here first. You could just roll right over our mods. That's live from the cast. No, we would never do that. We love our Sleepy. We love all of our mods. You guys do the thankless work that we all appreciate.
Sometimes we don't appreciate it, but, you know, some rules, you know, are interpreted and, you know, pertain by certain teams to their own needs. So, I don't know. That sentence didn't make any sense, so please ignore that, everyone. We're going into round 4. I'm just going to keep moving on like I knew what was going on the whole time. Boss fight.
I say we lose 3. We will lose 3. We will lose.
Boss fight planning to lose members early on. I think they've got some kind of interesting aggressive strategy that we're going to need to keep an eye on here, Sleepy.
I'm wondering if they're talking about losing 3 members or giving them like 3 rounds, because, well, all I know is if they don't spread out, they're going to get 1 grenade and it's going to kill all 5 of them, and they're not going to need to worry about any of that.
Yeah, I do think they were talking about members because they're pushing up very aggressively all through this service tunnel here. They're in the engine room now. Weather Balloon slowed up a little bit by shots coming out from, I think that was Dawn. And they're going to be making their approach now. Dawn just standing up straight, watching that angle. He's going to take a bullet for his troubles, and now Architect is checking that same corner. Scorpio trading shots. Grenade coming out.
Flash.
Not going to land.
That's a grenade. Nope, another flash.
Flash.
And Weather Balloon going to get a long-range pistol on Don Patron. Hoochie going to finish it off and almost kill Scorpio again. Weather Balloon might catch this frag. Oh no, he got lucky that it does fall between the box and the wall. It does save him, but it was very close. And Weather Balloon now, he's going to have that guy to the right as well as Jay behind him. He's got no choice but to die here. They've pretty much sandwiched him, but they do hear the shots. That gives his team the info. And ooh, Scorpio and Architect collide, and Scorpio does manage to get the kill, as does Architect. It's a 3v3 here on the final objective. Ooh, and Jay just barely misses the frag. All he's got to do is go in the door and lay out 3, and he does! No, he misses. He only gets 2. The last one picks him up, and now it's a 1v2. Scooby-Doo all by himself, but he does have that LMG, so he's not going to have to worry about reloading. Smokes out, and now it looks like he's going to relocate.
Scooby making call-outs to his non-existent teammates as he rotates back around. So they were talking about losing 3. They lost 4. It was an interesting strategy to try to pour through that door. A lot of grenades that missed their target. Otherwise, that could have been much, much worse for BossFight.
Yeah, absolutely. I think BossFight got off a little easy there. I think that J push could have caught all of them out, but Scooby-Doo going to definitely get lucky there. And now he's going to deal with King of the North. He's lucky RPT is focused still on that basement door, not realizing that he's relocated. But now he's going to have to find King of the North first, and King of the North probably going to be in that pretty decent position. Let's have a look exactly where he is. Yeah, that's a pretty clutch position there. He's peeking just between the girder, the support girder, and the power box there. Pretty good coverage. Still got eyes on the door. But Scooby-Doo, a trained pro at this game, playing for many seasons now, should be pretty aware to check this side. And he is going to be looking here. Oh, he does see him. He does. Scooby-Doo going to pick off King of the North. RPT's all the way on the other side, but Scooby-Doo going to rotate. That's a smart play here. 1v1. If he rotates, RPT going to be looking at the wrong stairwell. RPT on the move.
Yeah, RPT did not need to be hanging around there once those shots came out. He needed to be crashing earlier. That could have been a cap. Very dangerous check for him. But now he is on OBJ. Scooby is going to likely have to take this down to kills.
Oh, yeah. If he's able to get a cap on this, then that just means that that defender was not doing his job in a 1v1. But this was smart. He's relocated. He's went back to his old position. He's looking. He's checking. And now he's inside. He's got that angle. And RPT's sitting out in the open down there at the end of the subway platform. And there it is. Scooby does find the kill. And BossFight do find the map. And that'll find them the series. And we'll end up going to the third one just for points to see what the MMR spread will be like.
Yeah, that was a great match, though. I mean, that subway could have gone either way. If any one of those grenades landed differently, there could have been quite a turn of events for Silent Purge there. But unfortunately for them, Scooby is going to be able to pick that round up for them and take the series. And we're going to be seeing what the third map is.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, but we will go ahead and do a quick checkup on our score here. As you can see, map 1 was Bizarre. BossFight taking that 4-2. We didn't have any caps on that, did we? Yes, we did. No.
No, we did not.
We did not
have any caps.
Okay, so no caps on Bizarre, but a 4-2 score line. Subway, we did have a cap. BossFight getting a nice little cap there, reminiscent of their cap attempt against Animal House, or their cap against Animal House, I guess I should say, for their win in that match. 4-1 on Subway for this series. And then we'll head back to the War Room now as we load into our third map to give everyone an idea of what is coming up.
Yeah, that map is going to be Suburbia. We're going to be seeing some hot action here. Suburbia, I would say an Onward favorite. Definitely a very exciting map to play, and these teams, I think, are going to make us sit on the edge of our seats, despite the fact the series went to BossFight already. I think we're going to be seeing a pretty intense brawl here. And while we wait for the teams to ready up and get into this third map, I am going to call out Zach Fontaine with his Twitch Prime subscription in the chat. Thank you, Zach. We appreciate that support as always.
Yes, we do. And of course, as a reminder, see Zach subscribe with his Twitch Prime. You do get one free subscription with Twitch Prime every month. So if you'd like, we'd love it if you choose to use that here on the Onward Master League, because we do use that money and those funds to put towards the future casts and the improvement of our casting programs, as well as to give back to our VRML staff as well as the casters for taking this volunteer time out of their lives and families and so on to bring us this action on a weekly basis. And I do it for the love of the game and for the love of our community, but it is nice to know that we're appreciated and the support to come in from the community. We also thank anyone who comes in and supports the Stack Up group. They were here with us yesterday when Nightfire and I got started out on the Rome Riot match. We appreciate those guys very much. Their cause very near and dear to my heart, but also to any of the other veterans out there in the community. Stack Up, a great charity. If you haven't already, check them out, stackup.org. It's a military-owned and operated charity. They send gaming packages and systems and accessories and stuff to soldiers from both the U.S. and abroad. They send that stuff downrange to guys and gals who are out in the fields fighting for our countries and for our representative states in order to make things easier for those guys and gals out there in the field. So definitely a cause worthy of support. They also take guys and gals like you who might be prior service or active duty veterans who are serving in your country's respective military, and they take them to special events like PAX and Comic-Con and ESL events for Oculus and VR League like we did just last year and things of that nature. So definitely a great cause. Very happy to always, give them a little shout out in our cast, as they've been with us now for a couple of seasons, and their mission definitely very much in line with ours, and that's community and service to others before ourselves. So thank you, stackup.org. Thank you for all of the support from you individual viewers, and hopefully we'll be getting into this next round here pretty soon. Got all the members of both teams in, and we are going to see a substitute for BossFight. Sharku, that was the guy I couldn't remember earlier. Sharku going to be coming in on the side of BossFight.
Yeah, definitely one of their stronger players. It's going to be a good call on their part. I wonder if it's because of map strength or simply just rotating a member in after winning the series already. I know a lot of teams will rotate in sort of their reservists once the series is decided, but we'll see if that's the case here as BossFight crashes down on this red car objective.
We're going to follow Sharku through the west here, or through the east here at first. He's moving towards lane 4 very quickly. He's already picked up 3/4 to the map's real estate. He's already in position and ready and kind of waiting to peer through those bushes, looking for any picks that he can on lane 4 there.
Shots coming out towards King of the North's position, but it's mostly blind fire. Don't think actually knew where anybody was. King is going to toss a frag that grabs Scooby. A great frag toss there. What a bounce on that frag as well.
Man, and that was crazy. I was in the first-person view of Scooby when that happened, and that frag just landed, and you just see Scooby's model just fall over in the camera, and fantastic nade from him. Don Patron putting a nice nade out towards lane 4, but it's a little too far. The smoke going to come out. Arc Attack picks up Weather Balloon, however, and Silent Purge go up 5-4 here on round number 1.
Trading shots there from Sharku, not going to land. Back and forth between Don. Sharku's sort of keeping the attention of Don and RPT focused here as the 3 remaining members of BossFight are pushing up. Arc Attack now surrounded. I don't think he's aware that anybody's by him. He does manage to pick up Scooby, though, and Scorpio gets the refrag. Sharku picking up Jay on the other side, and it's a 3v3 now.
Yeah, see, this is what one of the things I love about this game. Things can flip on their heads so quickly. Don Patron or Sharku trying to get that to work. It's a 2v2 now. It's a 3v2 now as Hoochie UK does pick up another member of the Silent Purge team from across the map. The objective is thinly defended. I mean, it can definitely be... It can be attacked still, but they can see onto both sides of the vehicle, which is a good thing for them. RPT going to find Scorpio in the backyard, or the gardens, as folks in the UK like to call it. Don Patron is going to find Sharku, or Sharku going to find Don Patron, I should say, and that is going to be 2v1 now. RPT, the last remaining member. If BossFight has another member, Hoochie should push up. He should have pushed across the street, gotten in behind, because at that moment when RPT flanked to go after Sharku, Hoochie could have come in here, gotten behind this vehicle, and gotten a cap in if he was in a better positioning. But I'm not really sure what's going on with Hoochie over there, as it's he's just kind of sitting there on the porch.
Might be a little winded, Got himself a glass of lemonade, and he's just sitting back watching the battle. RPT now sort of being a little bit more aggressive than I would expect someone to be after what he's seen so far. Hoochie now moving out. If RPT's not careful and moves around a little too much, Hoochie's going to be able to get that long-range pick. He does back off a little bit. They are looking down towards each other. Hoochie just missing him. RPT also not seeing him, I don't think. He's still checking other angles. My goodness, if they can cross the street without one or the other seeing each other, it's going to be a big surprise. Hoochie now slowly making his way across. Yeah, RPT still not seeing him. Hoochie might be able to get all the way across into the backyards without being spotted here.
Well, Hoochie's going to have to fight now against two enemies. He's not only got RPT to deal with, but he's also going to have to fight against his newest enemy, which is the clock. He's got 2 minutes left. There's plenty of time here on Suburbia, but if he's too cautious, if he's too careful, if he's too slow getting through those backyards, it will cause issues for him, and it could cause him to have to push out too aggressively and end up costing them the round, but we'll have to see how that goes.
Yeah, Hoochie grabbing the shield there off, I believe, Weather Balloon.
Yeah.
He's got a minute 30 now to approach with that. The shield is going to be a huge bonus for him as he makes this push.
Well, not if he leaves it in the yard like that.
Hoochie, what are you doing? Why do you make me look bad? It's because I was hard on him. I understand.
Yeah. I was just going to say, if RPT was on his team, Hoochie would have killed him already, but...
Shots fired!
Love you,
Sleepy
Hoochie.
Taking shots. Oh my god. There's enough bullets already, Sleepy Cheese. Got a minute left. He should know the time now. He has checked the tablet. See, he's picking it up a little bit. But he has to be cautious. I assume he just doesn't have an accurate count and assumes there are more members of the defense than there are. But despite that, he is going to have to move.
And he is. 43 seconds on the clock. It's enough time for him to get... He's got the room to run up a little bit. He can definitely gain some of that real estate without having to worry. But I know his problem is he knows he's the last one. He knows he's probably unsure about his kill count, as Noman was saying. And I just think that, yeah, that's going to play into his slow play here. But now he's moving. He's pre-fired a corner. He's checked that, but now he's giving away his position to RPT. RPT going to be watching it, but he's behind the barrier. Hoochie not taking any chances, but he's shooting a lot for not reloading his weapon. And now he's on the objective. RPT's not even looking. Oh, here comes RPT with the peek now, and he's going to find Hoochie on the objective. Silent Purge going to grab their first round here on Suburbia.
Yeah, and that was actually the right play. It seemed like RPT wasn't aware, but keeping yourself low, you don't really need to worry about shots coming out from a backyard when you're getting that low on time that you know they've either got to cap or kill you. You want to stay as quiet as possible. I think his sort of passive defense there was the right choice, and Silent Purge do take that first round.
So a great play from them overall, and oh no, we're seeing a drop come in, or nope, it looks like Scorpio just taking off the helmet and back on again. Maybe a little small glitch in the loadout or something he couldn't handle, but he's back in now. We should be getting back to things as soon as that in-round timer goes off. For those of you who may not know, in between each round, our competitors have 2 minutes where they have a overview map on a little whiteboard, if you will. They have markers in different colors and erasers so that they can sit there and they can draw up new plans for their attack or for their defense in between these rounds. So they have about, I think it's a minute and a half or 2 minutes. I can never recall which it actually is. I think it is 2 minutes though, where they can make those plans and get ready. Then the game will automatically start, unless of course it is disabled due to a technical issue which requires a restart or rejoin of that sort. But yeah, so 2 minutes in between each of these rounds to allow the teams to get their plans of attack together and see if they are able to execute on match start. So
absolutely. As we jump into this round, before we get into the action, just another quick shout out. Chief Pineapple, thank you for that Twitch Prime sub.
Chiefy!
And a couple of the biddies. I saw some biddies come out. I think Xandria and Ferris throwing some biddies out as well. We appreciate that, you guys.
Love seeing those biddies.
We appreciate it so much. We're going to be bringing you some hot action as a result.
That's
it.
What
you get. That's your reward.
That's your reward. Your reward for those big old biddies is going to be some more hot onward action, as Noman said. A smoke comes out from Architect quickly onto the defense. Lane 1, he's going to relocate that back towards them. He's like, you know what, you can have that back, and it might roll down the hill at the time to where it might just bonk Architect here on the head. Could you imagine throwing a smoke, having it thrown back, and then it just falls off the rooftop and bonks you on the head?
If that was a kill, that would be the best clip in Onward for sure. 100%. Yeah, we're seeing this same 3-2, or sorry, we're seeing a 3-2 approach, not a 4-1 approach like we saw from BossFight. RPT and Dom Patron now tossing their frags and smokes down. Sharku responds with a frag, but a little bit too short and behind cover. Not going to pick anybody up, but Dom Patron here gets down by a great nade by Hoochie. Toss from that eastern center house. Great play by him.
Oh man, Scooby peeks out. He's looking for Architect.
Pandemonium on the battlefield. Shots coming out everywhere. Member of BossFight going down now. RPT able to get that revive.
Architect gonna do the same in the
back
east.
to 5 members. Sharku and Hoochie picking up RPT and Dom Patron, and that 2 of the 3-2 split is now gone. It's all up to the members on the west.
Yeah, and Scorpio gonna find King of the North, so now it's just a 2-man on the west.
Scorpion taking some great shots there through the smoke, picking up King of the North. And now it's just 2 members of Silent Purge trying to make this approach. Scorpio now on this heavy rotation, trying to get behind the last 2 members. Jay here is going to be in trouble. He's not aware of this. Architect now looking behind him, however. He may have heard the footsteps. Scorpio picks up Jay. Architect now looking for the refrag.
Oh, he missed him. He missed Scorpio strafing back in front of him. Now Scorpio's going back around. Now he's gonna completely change his angle again, and I think he's gonna come around and end up getting behind Architect here. Nope. He has returned to his defensive position. Architect is now safe for the time being, but yeah, there was a lot of calamity going on over here on the western side of the map, and of course I muted so that I could eat a piece of my toast and forgot to unmute, so
more poke and hope frags coming out. BossFight not aware of Architect's position. He has to use this to his advantage, but we know they're out of utilities at this point. He's going to have to scavenge something off of a Volk defender if he wants to do it. Weather Balloon is just trained on this position. Architect's going to have an uphill battle here. He does have more than enough time to work with, but he's got quite a bit of BossFight to chew through before he can make anything happen.
Yep, and he's got 3 minutes to do it. He's definitely got the time. Is he rocking a drum mag? No. If I were him, I would pick up that LMG laying beside me, but again, I have caster vision, so.
Yeah, being the last one alive, you generally don't want to make too much noise or make any unnecessary movements, especially when you're in enemy territory like this, so it's easy to not consider the ammo in your mag, or gun choice in general.
Architect getting close. He might, if he pre-fires that porch where Scorpio is, he might actually catch a sliver of him and be able to take him down. But he's definitely not going to be making any noise, though. Weather Balloon popping off some shots now got Architect's attention, but Scorpio... Oh no, Weather Balloon's able to see him. Architect going to return fire, but not going to be able to connect. Scorpio going to come through fire through the bushes and grab BossFight their round on defense here on map number 3.
Yeah, great play by Scorpio there. Quickly rushing around, not giving Architect a chance to reposition. Exactly what you want to see.
That is exactly right, and Hoochie, Scorpio, and Sharku right now just doing all the work for BossFight. 3 kills apiece. Scorpio not dying once in this map yet. Meanwhile, on Silent Purge, it's almost the same story. You got Architect and RPT taking care of business over there. The other members of the Silent Purge team unable to find any picks just yet, but you know, it's still early in this 3rd map, so we could be seeing a lot of crazy action coming through from those teams.
Yeah, that would definitely not surprise me. Like I said, Suburbia is one of those maps that no shortage of intense action, no matter if the series is decided or not. Very few bad rounds on Suburbia, in my experience. seeing some clips coming through in the Twitch chat. Thank you guys for doing that as well, making sure we can highlight this action as often as possible. Lots of good action to highlight. That's an important achievement by these two teams. It's been a great match so far. The scoreline has been relatively close, especially considering this is sort of the new Silent Purge's first outing. So it's good to see this kind of a matchup.
It's a baby's day out kind of thing. I mean, they're not really babies. As we've said many of times, Silent Purge been around now for 3 or 4 seasons, I believe. Just having some roster shakeups at the end of the season, and of course having that long break after Season 6. So I can understand if Silent Purge is a little slow to get back into their groove. Going to be a lot of cobwebs to shake out and a lot of gears to grease. So,
yeah, being the first match of the season, that's not shocking. Don Patron pushing up really aggressively here, along with Arc Attack, trying to catch BossFight out. Scooby catching Arc in his aggressive position, though. And one member of Silent Purge is gone already.
Yeah, Scooby and Don Patron right here next to each other. Don Patron's going to fire. Scooby-Doo. Oh, but a nade from Don Patron kills Scorpio, and then one comes down, and it looked like that nade actually got him, but I can't be sure, because that looked like that was thrown back from a member of the opposite team. I'm not sure, though. Scooby-Doo, though, he's doing all sorts of nonsense. He's running around just putting fire down everywhere. And I'm sorry to those of you out there, I did forget to reset that gameplay screen, so here we go. Didn't miss too much.
Weather Balloon's got Pat out. Weather Balloon's got Pat out. He downed RPT with a frag, and now he is capping.
And there it is. He's got all the time in the world. They don't even realize that the objective has been compromised. He's got his shield on his back. Jay's coming in, but the cap comes in, and BossFight gonna take another round with the cap and go up 3-1 here on Suburbia.
Well, that's what I get for saying the scoreline is close enough. Thanks, BossFight, again. God, you guys are just making us all look bad, but great play there. That grenade was perfect. RPT, surprisingly, I don't know if he just couldn't see him from his downed position. He was downed on objective from the nade, not dead, but I didn't hear callouts coming from him. And BossFight able to just, yeah, take their time, grab the cap, and go up 3-1.
Yes, pure insanity. They might be making us look bad, Noman, but they're making themselves look good. BossFight with their second cap of the day there to end that last round.
That's okay. We're used to looking like fools here in the casting desk, but fools with the bird's eye view. Bird's eye view.
Well, shout out to his teammate Bird's Eye View. And Mama Birds, of course, one of our most loyal adult viewers.
Yeah, watchers and fans.
Yeah, watchers and fans.
Always in there, along with the rest of you guys in chat. We appreciate all you guys hanging out with us all the time. Dedicating your weekends to watching this sweet action. And speaking of action, we are going to be diving right into round 4. Silent Purge now on the offense, looking to try to scrape at least one map away from BossFight, but BossFight's got that defensive advantage. They're going to try and lock this down and close out the series with 3 maps.
Yep, and I am not going to forget to switch it over to gameplay this time. We're entering into round 4 here. This could be game point for BossFight. All they have to do is defend this objective, and typically, I don't think BossFight has usually had too much trouble defending this objective in the past games, but we'll have to see if Silent Purge can bring something new to the table for him. The camera got caught in a boundary, and now it's Weather Balloon. He's pushed up very aggressively here. He's going to be able to catch up at least 2. If he pops up, he can pop Arc Attack and Jay very quickly. A frag comes over from Scorpio. It's not going to find anything. He's going to push up. Actually, Scorpio's grenade does down Arc Attack. The C4 comes out from Weather Balloon, and it does grab Arc Attack and Jay. Jay gets revived, though. Don Patron. And here he comes. Weather Balloon coming out. He finds 2. Oh, my goodness. What is going on? The Silent Purge attack is just falling apart. A frag comes out from Weather Balloon, but it's not effective. He does find RPT. King of the North, though, he's right there. The frag comes out to him. King of the North is firing. He does find Weather Balloon, and then Scorpio cleans up King of the North, finishing off that round in a mere 58 seconds. BossFight going to take the win on that map, 4-1.
Holy cow. Somebody said something really mean to Weather Balloon, because what an absolute tear he went on there in that last round, picking up 3, got a C4 kill. Unbelievable play by them. BossFight taking this map 3-0.
Yeah, yeah, the series.
3-0.
There we go.
Series.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the series definitely was a good one. Don't let the score fool you. 11-5 is a lot more spread than what these rounds were. Silent Purge putting up a great fight, but BossFight able to get those 2 caps, which really just kind of set things. Sorry, it is 12-5. I forgot to add that last point in for BossFight. So yeah, I mean, it is much closer than the score makes it appear, and that's one thing about this game. You know, these score lines cannot always indicate exactly how close things were. So, you know, you got to give them credit. Silent Purge did a great job for their first match of the season, having to play against BossFight, the number 1 or number 2 team in the EU. It's a tough go of it, so they did a great job, I think. BossFight, though, a great game to them. A few issues with team kills and whatnot, but overall they were able to overcome it, get 2 caps, and secure the entire series 3-0. Noman, do you have anything to add as far as the gameplay we saw here today?
That was better than I expected, to be honest. And again, that was one of those things, going back to you asking for a prediction, it's hard to call this stuff out. I don't think Silent Purge was, struggled as much as I would have imagined they might have throughout that match. They just could not find a way to stop BossFight from getting those caps and, sealing out rounds. But I think they put up a great fight. BossFight obviously taking that series very commandingly at the end, but it was a great match. It was a lot of fun to cast, and yeah, that's it for me.
Absolutely, and just like Noman says, that's going to be it for us for right now. There will be a few more casts later today. Nightfire and myself should be picking one up at about 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and then myself and Buxton will also be doing one following that of the Danglers versus Blaze game, which I know old Noman here is excited to see. But again, we thank you all for coming out. We appreciate all of your viewership, your donations, your support. So from Sleepy with 2 E's and Noman here, your 2 West Coast casters here in the morning, we'd like to say thank you and have a great day, everybody.